And welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. Thank you so much for joining us on this Wednesday. We want to remind you that you can watch us 6 days a week right here on Charter Channel 8 all throughout the day. If for some reason you can't catch us there, though, you can always find us on YouTube and blip.tv. And if you like us on Facebook, we will enter you into win a pair of tickets for the Steele County Blades home game. It's a great time to get together with your family for winter sport, so make sure you like us on Facebook. Also, we're always looking for new ideas. If you've got something you'd like to see right here on the Owatonna Today Show, or you have an event coming up that you'd like to see us cover, why don't you send us an email at owatonnatoday@charter.net, and we'll see what we can do for you. Also, Leanne would love to hear from you as well. Her phone number is 390-5751. She can give you some information for that as well. Thank you so much. We've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking with the Sports Wellness Initiative, but also we have Terry Foy, who's so famous you'll just know him immediately, I'm sure. Well, if you've been in the Minnesota Renaissance, you'll have known him, so stick with us.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead & Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
Owatonna Public Utilities, real people, real reliable, real progress. Making life a little easier day after day, taking pride in our community, listening to what you say, a voice you can talk to. We're growing with you in mind in everything we do. Owatonna Public Utilities.
Hi, this is Laura Ressler greeting you from the Steele County Historical Society's History Center, where we're honoring the past and looking towards the future. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. It's Leanne on the go with the Owatonna Today Show, and I'm here with Jeff King. Jeff, welcome to Owatonna Today.
Thank you, Leanne.
And we are here today. This is actually the week of January 14th, and we are down here at the Owatonna Chamber's conference room. And Jeff, you have been in town as part of the Sports and Wellness Initiative Committee's, well, I don't want to say, what do I want to say, goings on. They're conducting some focus groups or stakeholders meetings?
Correct. Actually, it's a bit more broad than that. We've been hired, our company is Ballard King Associates, and we've been hired to assist the committee with a needs assessment and feasibility study, exploring the possibility for a new sports and wellness facility in Owatonna.
Okay. Give us some of your background, Jeff, as to what qualifies you to be conducting this feasibility study.
Okay. Ballard King Associates is a recreation facility planning and operations consulting firm out of Colorado. We've been around for about 20 years.
Okay.
In that time, we've completed over 500 needs assessment and feasibility studies around the country.
Okay.
So we've got a lot of experience with this type of project, and of those 500 facilities that we've been a part of the planning process, there's approximately 135 facilities that have actually been built and are operating today.
Okay. So tell us what you are currently doing here in Owatonna.
We are here in Owatonna to conduct the first phase of our market analysis or needs assessment process. And really there's three pillars to that. One pillar is statistical and demographic information that we're assembling and collecting on the community. So there's a statistical part of what we do. Another pillar is to take a look at the other service providers in this area who's providing recreation and leisure opportunities in the Owatonna area. And third, and without question, the most important aspect is the public input process. Over the course of the 3 days while we're in town, there will be over, I think, about 17 different stakeholder meetings. We'll be reaching about 150 people in the community that have vested interest in various degrees in terms of some sort of sports and wellness center. And in addition to that, we're also hosting 2 public meetings. We had one last night, and we'll be having one on Tuesday evening as well at the junior high school.
Okay, and that's actually, today is January 15th, and that will actually have been held today.
Yes.
Or tonight, okay. Define stakeholders for me so our audience has a better idea of what you're referring to.
Well, the stakeholders is a pretty broad and diverse group. It represents the business community, the medical community. We've talked to a lot of the different coaches of the sports teams. Youth sports associations are part of these stakeholder meetings. We're meeting with groups of seniors. We're meeting with high school students. We're meeting with education, the school district people, and of course, as I indicated earlier, just the public meetings and getting a good cross-section of the public's interest as well.
Okay. Now, you had your first public meeting last night. What type of a turnout did you see for that?
We had about 20 people
Okay.
at the meeting last night, and although the turnout was lighter than everybody had hoped for, the participants we had were enthusiastic. We had a lot of great ideas that came from the meeting, and it was a good opportunity to interface with a cross-section of the community to see what their thoughts were and opinions were regarding the development of a wellness and sports facility.
Okay. Give us an idea now in these stakeholder meetings, what types of questions or concepts or ideas you're bringing to the meetings?
Well, because of the diverse nature, of course, every stakeholder meeting is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
One of the consistent elements that we get from every stakeholder meeting, however, is the opportunity to talk about what their vision is for a facility and what their vision is for the city of Owatonna as we look forward, and efforts to make Owatonna an attractive place to live or continue having an attractive place to be here in Owatonna.
Okay. Do you have a specific set of questions that you ask, and maybe just give us an example of either a question that you ask or how do you actually get the conversation going?
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because in working with the committee, we've talked about scripted versus non-scripted questions, and given the experience we have in doing these project types, we have found that typically unscripted works the best. We typically would start by asking some general questions regarding the organizations that we're meeting with, the stakeholders.
Okay.
So we have an understanding of their participation, who they represent, where they're currently going to use facilities, those types of things.
Oh, okay.
And then it focuses on, from that point, to looking at what their specific needs are. And are their needs being met? Are there gaps in services and facilities? And so that's the consistency that we have from one group to the next, is focusing on what that gap is and what some of the deficiencies are in terms of their needs and their access for facilities.
Okay. So tell us what some specific targeted questions would be to, like, say, the medical community, to youth, and to some of the coaches of youth sports here in Owatonna.
Okay. Well, the medical profession, we would want to find out what's going on from rehab and therapeutic purposes.
Okay.
How many, patients they're seeing, what kind of demands they have, and in most specifically with the hospital folks, we want to find out what's happening to the folks that have been released from care, in the sense from the insurance perspective. Where are people going
Okay.
to continue their rehab and their therapy use and those types of things. So that's part of the questioning. We also got into community outreach and some of the services that the hospital provides to the community at large, and just talked in general terms about health initiatives as it pertains to the city of Owatonna.
Okay.
So their questions are much different than you asked about the user groups. On the other end of the spectrum, we have user groups where we're talking very specifically about the number of participants they have, where they're currently using facilities, what's happened with participation trends. Are their groups growing? Are they shrinking
okay.
in size? What are some of the issues that they're facing? How much time or how much demand, unmet demand, do they have? Mm-hmm. So again, the questions are very pointed to the group that we're dealing with, and are not scripted, but rather free-flowing based on the information that we're gathering from the groups.
Okay. So then, besides meeting with the stakeholders, then what additional activities will you be doing here in town as you accumulate all of your information?
Well, we will be spending a fair amount of our time, again, visiting some of the alternative service providers, understanding who else is providing recreation, leisure, and sports. It includes, touring the schools to see some of the school gymnasium facilities. It includes, visiting the city-operated, tennis center and some of their exercise and wellness facilities that they have. It is going by the parks and seeing some of the soccer fields and football fields and baseball fields and having a sense for the inventory of facilities that are available. It's going by the hospital to see the wellness and rehab center they have at the hospital. So it's just going around, again, trying to acclimate us to what else is available here in the community of Owatonna.
Okay. So then when you're all done with your visit here to Owatonna, what do you then do when you go back to Colorado?
We will be taking a wealth of information back with us, and we basically will be taking the next month or so to synthesize the information gathered, kind of boil it down, look for some consistencies, and essentially start to develop what we call a program recommendation.
Okay.
And when I say program, it's not an activity, but rather an allocation of space, and we start talking about the components. So that will be the next step that we'll be engaging the committee with, is coming back with some recommendations as a result of all this public input and information that's been gathered with this first trip.
Okay. And then is this where then your part in this process ends then, after you give the whole recommendation and whole outlook back to the committee, or will you be involved?
Not exactly. We will be involved with, from the program recommendations, we will be working on developing consensus with the committee in terms of what that program should be. And once we have consensus on the program, then we go about looking at the feasibility. We'll make some project cost estimates in terms of what it might cost to build that program.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And then we'll also be looking at it from an operations perspective and putting an operating pro forma together. So there's a listing of all the line item budgets and expenses that you would see in operating a center like this, along with the revenue projections, so that when we're done, the committee's going to have the tools necessary to make a decision if this is something they want to continue to pursue in the community and take it to the next step, or perhaps, based on the outcome, they say, oh, the numbers aren't there, it's not going to work. We don't know yet till we go through that process.
Exactly.
But that's going to be a decision the committee will be making.
Okay. Well, I thank you so much for spending this time with us here on the Owatonna Today Show. I would say for the community members who perhaps were unable to make the public meetings or not a part of the stakeholders groups, you're certainly welcome to contact Peng Olson or Mike Beckman to give your insights and opinions, and I'm sure that they will pass that along to you as you continue with your process.
Great. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Jeff. And this is Leanne for the Owatonna Today Show.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, Ann Plaskonko here from Senior Place. Senior Place has new hours. Mondays and Fridays we're open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Participate in Zumba Gold, Bike Club, table tennis, computer classes, speakers, and much more. Don't forget the Senior Place Partnership Program with 39 businesses giving discounts and incentives with your Senior Place membership card. Membership is only $35 for the year, which comes to just $3 a month to be a member. Consider joining us today.
Hello, my name is Shannon Cliff. I'm the Patient Services Manager at Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna. I'd like to talk with you about our same-day clinic. Starting at 7 o'clock, you can call into the clinic where we will look for an appointment with your primary care provider. The second option, we would look to our same-day clinic to book an appointment. The third option would then be to have you walk into our facility to be seen. If you have any questions regarding same-day appointments, we'd be happy to answer them. please call 451-1120.
Do you know how to safely dispose of your expired or unused prescription and non-prescription medications? Not by flushing them down the toilet or putting them in the garbage. Doing so pollutes our rivers, streams, and drinking water supply. Take it to the box instead for safe, secure disposal. It's easy. Bring your unused medications in their original containers to the drop-off locations listed on the screen and drop them in the Take It to the Box drop box. Proper disposal of unwanted medications keeps them out of the hands of children and out of our environment. This is a message from the Safe and Drug-Free Coalition of Steele County.
Hi, I'm Glenn Mager.
And I'm Tim Thomas of the Brick Mager Funeral Home, and we're proud to serve the Medford and Owatonna areas with cremation and traditional funeral services.
And we're proud to be a part of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. I do have in the studio with me Terry Foy. Hello, Terry.
Hello, Shelley. How are you?
Terry, I tell him this and he doesn't believe me. He's nerd famous. So it's true. You don't believe me. He has actually been part of the Renaissance Festival for many years. Why don't you go ahead and do a quick introduction of yourself?
Oh, well, what I do at the Renaissance Festival
is who are you first?
I play Zilch the Torysteller.
There you go.
And I've been teaching people how to leak in a spiffern language for nigh unto 4 decades now. Spawking and tunerisms are talking in spoonerisms, which is where you kitch responsonants back and forth at the lead of spite.
You do that really
Did that go
quickly.
really fast?
Yes, that goes. Slow down a little.
Well, I've heard it before.
Well, so slow down a little.
All right, so I'll go slow. I'll slow, get a lower,
okay.
So you can stunder and werfically pell. That way you can turn the technique, hake it home, fruise it on your yens, you'll be the pipe of your lardy. You'll never have to wear a hamplate on your shed again. All right, is that good?
Well, I think I finally got it. So, there's a lag. It's kind of like you were talking and I need a little bit of time
well,
to
you're waiting for the translation to come through.
Yes.
Which is also one of the reasons I've learned over the years that if I go very fast, it stops that lag in people's brains and they just start absorbing it. So then when I do slow down for some of the things I can't say in spoonerisms, then people will understand them, and they'll go, wait a minute.
So spoonerism basically is just change around the consonants.
Right. There's a historical guy.
Okay.
That it's named a real live dead guy.
Real life dead guy.
Real live dead guy. William Archibald Spooner was the warden. I love this term. The warden of St. Mary Magdalene College, which is part of university.
They are totally wardens.
Yeah, it means dean or chancellor, but.
Warden, yeah.
I went to St. Cloud State. That place needed a warden. So he became the warden of St. Mary Magdalene College, but he was one of the Oxford Dons. Mm-hmm. Died in, I think, 1934.
Okay.
The things that I've been told about him was that he was rather small, had an overly large head, was an albino.
Oh, okay.
And a great theological mind. He was a well-known theologian. But when he was relaxed and not thinking very hard about what he was saying, he would say things like, "The Lord is a shoving leopard." He would turn to some lady in the front row and say, "Pardon me, madam, but this pie is occupied. May I sew you to another sheet?" He once toasted Her Majesty by saying, "To our queer old dean." He once ended a wedding with, "It is now customary to cuss the bride." And
these are all actual historical things.
Well, that's what people claim.
Okay.
Now he claimed not to have said a lot of the things he was given credit for. One of the stories about him is that he once went up to one of his fellow dons or professors and said, "We're having a reception for the new archaeology chair. We'd like you to come." And the fellow looks at him and says, "Reverend Spooner, I am the new archaeology chair." "Oh, well, come anyway."
So he was kind of one of those very academic, flighty kind of people.
Yeah,
okay.
I never met him.
So you're from Minnesota. You grew up in Minneapolis.
I grew up in Minneapolis on the northwest side. Went to Armstrong Senior High on the shores of Muddy Medicine Lake. Mighty Medicine Lake. Yeah.
And when you were an older teen, you started working at the Minnesota Renaissance.
Right. I was starting my senior year in high school and auditioned for and was hired at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival. And up until that point, I had a promising future.
In?
Just anything.
promising.
I went off to St. Cloud State University, and in spite of the best efforts of the faculty, I managed to graduate.
Oh, they tried though.
They tried.
Okay, good for them.
And I have been doing Renaissance festivals ever since. And as time goes on, all artists sort of cobble together a living. And most of my living has been Renaissance festivals, but I do other things too.
Well, how many Renaissance festivals do you work right now?
About 6.
6 of them across the country.
Across the country.
Okay.
The year starts out in Arizona. Last year it was Arizona, Texas, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
We have friends.
Sterling in upstate New York. The Minnesota Renaissance Festival and the Carolina Renaissance Festival. And I've been as far south as Miami.
Okay.
And as far west as San Diego.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of places in between.
Well, what's amazing is first of all, it's amazing you can make a living doing this, because
I am always amazed by it, too.
Well, there's a handful of people that really actually do this.
Some friends of mine and I once counted. We thought there were about 250.
Yeah.
People
of the thousands that work at Renaissance festivals. What makes your show different from the other ones that have tried and
I don't juggle. I don't have any props. I have an orchestra.
Yes.
But
well, go ahead.
This is my orchestra. It's actually a mandolin. I once met a young lady named a mandolin. She came running up to me at a Renaissance festival and said, "What's that?" And I said, "It's a mandolin." She said, "So am I." And I said, "What?" And she said, "I was named after my grandfather's instrument." I said, "Don't set me up like that." But it's true. A mandolin is like a violin. It's tuned like a violin. Violin players in the audience will recognize the G, D, A, and E strings. You play all of your favorite violin tunes like... or even... But I like to use it to, I mean, it's like better than a mood ring.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're feeling a little, or then if you cheer up. I've always wanted to enter to. Except I think I need a better hat. And to be more windblown.
But this is something you use very much in your shows.
All the time. In fact, at Renaissance festivals, whenever I see women in Viking helmets, I play this.
Right in the Valkyrie. Yeah.
I keep hoping they'll sing me the words.
And what's interesting though is so that sets you apart in that you don't have actual songs that you play. You use it more as.
Oh, I can do that too.
Well, yeah, but you don't. But that's not what you do.
No.
You use it as more of an emphasis kind of thing.
It's music stings.
Yes. Yeah.
I learned that term in theater school.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It helps.
Yeah. It helps set things.
Prop it up.
Especially if the bad guy comes in.
Yeah. So.
Whenever I play that, people start walking faster.
Well, and what's interesting though is that you so you do Zilch and you do this all over the country, but as you said, that's not the only thing you do.
Right.
And you have a friend, Jeff
Eddie Jeff Cahill.
Eddie Jeff. I don't know which his real name is. Eddie Jeff Cahill. I don't know.
Is it a real name?
We
all call him Jeff.
Yeah. Okay.
But Eddie Jeff Cahill and I, when we perform together, we are calling ourselves the Extinguished Gentlemen.
And so you do more songs than that.
We do a little more music. But we still, he's a storyteller as well.
Okay.
He's won awards. And so we're old guys together.
Well, and I wanted to show people really quick. We do have some pictures here of Terry in costume. He decided to come out in real clothes today. But he has his pictures of him in costume. And then you have a book. I
have a book out, which is hiding behind the pictures.
We're going to let Leanne focus in on this real quick. So this is his favorite picture. He has that in his wallet. And then this is him performing.
On my iPhone.
One of the things that Terry's known for are his eyebrows, and you can see them in full use there. They're very expressive eyebrows.
Oh, the man of the dancing eyebrows.
Yes, that's you. And then, but this is what we were talking about now, is that you have written a Christmas book.
I do. I started doing this. As all my stuff sort of falls out of my brain all at once. And I was doing The Night Before Christmas in the original Minnesotan, Yashur You Bet You, and my friends in North Carolina all thought it was so funny that it was very popular at Christmas events in North Carolina, of all places.
Did they like to
I know, that was just a little... So I would do the night before Christmas, and all through the place, not no one was moving because we'd all stuffed our face. And finally, Delane Hostetler, who is an artist at the Minnesota Renaissance Festival, and I collaborated. She did the pictures, I did the words, and we put out a book. And you can get it on Amazon.com or even Barnes & Noble.
You're a published author.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. And then also we do have one last thing here, and that is Terry has a DVD if you'd like to bring Terry home.
CDs. If you want to bring me home with you.
Yeah. That's a great
This is cheaper than feeding me.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much. Terry, you're a good friend, and I appreciate you taking the time to come over and do
thanks
this.
for having me.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure. And we'll see you at the Renaissance Festivals. Make sure you get out and see his show when you go to the Renaissance Festival. This fall.
Or wherever you happen to be.
We'll be back right here on the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Amy Martinez.
And I'm Adam Martinez, owners of Snap Fitness in Owatonna.
Snap Fitness is a fast, convenient, and affordable fitness center, and we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
The Owatonna Care Center is excited to announce our new partnership with Dr. Middle and Dr. Wilcox of Long-Term Care Professionals. This partnership ensures that residents can be seen right here at the Owatonna Care Center when needed. With this special on-site care, long-term care professionals will be delivering to our facility. Our goal is to decrease hospital visits and ensure special one-on-one care for each resident. Long-term care professionals and the Owatonna Care Center are dedicated to improving the clinical management for our residents, ensuring that they receive the highest quality of care.
Hi, this is Barry Gillespie, president of ERA Gillespie Real Estate, where our pledge is to save you money, save you time, and simplify your life. And we're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
I'll play something subtle.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. For the first time, I'm going to have announcements read to the accompaniment of a mandolin. That's pretty awesome.
Hello, I'm Sean McCarthy, and I'm Deb Giller with Brookdale
Eagles
Senior
Cancer Auction is coming up. This is on February 8th at 6:30 and Saturday, February 9th. Please come out to the Eagles Auction and support a great cause. And it's at the Eagles Club. And what they're going to have, they're looking for people to donate things as well. So if you have a chance and opportunity, please do that. All right, you ready? You got to change the mood now. All right, the Orina Health Owatonna Pharmacy is located inside the Main Street of Owatonna Hospital, and they are expanding their hours. So if you need to get into the pharmacy, they're going to be open from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Saturday, Sunday, beginning Saturday, January 19th. I'm guessing this has to do with the flu outbreak and all the fun stuff people are dealing with. But again, the Owatonna Pharmacy is open from 11 to 4. One more, you ready? This one's the Art Center. I'm intimidated. On January 26th, Kent Michaels and Martin Hodel are having their musical program. They're doing music from North America, Canada, United States, and Mexico. That's January 26th at 2 p.m. You can check that out at the Owatonna Art Center. Okay, ready for the next one?
Sure.
This is about scholarships.
Scholarships.
Bring your own Terry Foy home. Have fun with that. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Owatonna Today Show. We'll see you on Friday. See you then.